Am I the a-hole for canceling my bachelorette party after what my friend did?
The power of friendship is so amazing!
This story is from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit, and the title is, Am I the a-hole for canceling my bachelorette party after my maid of honor invited her friends who bullied mine? You may be seated. All right, Charlotte people, buckle up. Strap it in. Because I have a story that is just begging for the tea to be spilled. I'm getting married soon, and I asked my friend Daria, 43 female, to be my maid of honor. Big mistake. Huge. I love that Pretty Woman reference.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
She offered to plan my bachelorette party, a 3-day weekend trip. Sounds great, right? Wrong. The only thing that was decided was a villa she had supposedly chosen. No activities, no budget, no real plan. This is where the clown car pulls up and the whole circus gets out. Act 1, the uninvited guests. Daria creates the group chat. And who's in it? My friends and 2 of her besties, Karen and Victoria. Also in their late 40s. She didn't ask me, she just informed me that her friends would be there to help. Ooh. Bestie, I don't even love that you're allowing them to come, honestly. I'm gonna stop you right there and just be like, I know for me that if someone invited people that like I wasn't friends with, that's not the vibe. Like, it's not the vibe, and it's not to like exclude people. It's literally just, you don't know who these people are. They don't care about you as much as your close friends. So there's just inevitably going to be issues. Like, guaranteed there's going to be issues.
That's a problem.
And maybe there won't, but more likely there will be. So now we have 2 cliques. Team Bride, my friends, all in their 30s, and Team Maid of Honor, her crew, all in their 40s. What could possibly go wrong?
So much.
A lot. A lot can go wrong. Like, I'm just saying, the fact that there's 2 people that are invited that like don't know you very well, that are like trying to plan, like help plan, like why is that even, why? I already know there's gonna be issues with budget because like at the end of the day, it's like when I went to like bachelorette parties with my closest friends, there was a big effort to like surprise her with things that she would love, a big effort to like go to DJs that she loved and like just, you know, do everything she really loved doing to make it like a really beautiful experience for her. I can just tell that like things are gonna go sideways.
Aiming ball of foreshadowing.
For 2 months, the group chat was a war zone I wasn't even in. My friend Eretria, I don't know if that's how, I feel like that's just how I'm gonna pronounce it. I've never seen that name before. So Eretria is a straight shooter and asked practical questions about the non-existent plan. Team Maid of Honor immediately decided she was a disrespectful peasant challenging Queen Daria's authority. Like my daughter! Act 2, the absolute train wreck of events. The drama unfolded in a series of increasingly unhinged arguments. The Great Villa Catastrophe. Daria was super vague about the plans, so Eretria, trying to be helpful, finds a stunning luxury villa owned by her close friend that we would get for next to nothing. After a massive argument about the public price, which we wouldn't be paying, Daria dramatically cancels her original mysterious booking and tells Eretria to book the luxury one. Here's the kicker. Eretria was swamped at work and couldn't reply for a few days. More importantly, after seeing how vicious the chat was, she told me she couldn't possibly ask her friend to rent their gorgeous home to a pack of wild animals she didn't know. Please! She was terrified Daria's friends would wreck the place, so Eretria backs out. The result? Team Maid of Honor blames Eretria for everything, and we're left with no villa. I can understand this being like a bit of a bummer, but I feel like it's not the end of the world. There's plenty of other options. I'm sure there were. There's no point in like starting this whole trip that you guys are on a bad note.
Negative, negative, negative.
It's just not necessary to bring that kind of negativity into what's supposed to be a really fun event. And honestly, I don't really blame your friend. I don't blame Eretria for wanting to cancel that. Cause like, again, this is the thing about like inviting people you don't know. Like even inviting people you don't know to the wedding, like allowing people to have like +1s that you don't know, like you don't know how they're going to act. Nor do they really care about like, they don't know you. So what loyalty do they have to you to make it a good event for you? You just don't know how they're gonna act. And furthermore, I bet it gets super weird with like even like budget planning. Like if you have like a Splitwise account where some people pay for something and people pay them back, it's like those people don't even know you. What's to stop them from like literally never paying you back, you know?
Messy. It's really messy.
Giftgate 2025. This is my favorite part. My friends suggest getting me a beautiful, high-quality silk lingerie set for about 150 euros. It's my favorite color, blue, and my friends loved the idea. Karen, one of Daria's cronies, immediately finds a 22 euro polyester nightmare on some knockoff website and suggests that instead. Okay, so again, she's clearly trying to suggest something that's less money because she doesn't care about getting you a nice gift.
Facts.
She doesn't know you. Then Daria herself chimes in, insisting the gift must be white because it's for a wedding, not a birthday. I mean, I could see her point. Like traditionally, you know, like the bride gets, I've done that before. Like I got my friends like a white robe and like everybody else had pink robes, or like I wore a white robe. But like at the end of the day, it's like what the bride wants.
Have you considered that?
This is the point. It's like it is what she wants, nobody else. My friend pointed out it's a gift from my friends for my bachelorette party, not a religious sacrament. This resulted in Karen going nuclear and writing a whole novel in the chat about what a snob Eritrea is. The final showdown. Another friend of mine who'd been silent because she couldn't make the trip finally had enough. She stepped in to defend Eritrea from the constant attacks. Victoria, the other maid of honor crony, immediately pounced on her, accusing her of showing up just to start drama. Oh, you can totally tell the maid of honor like crew has their own group chat where they're just talking shit. You this, I'm gonna say something. No, I'm gonna say something. Oh my goodness. If you get invited to a bachelorette party and you don't really know the bride well, your job is to show up and have fun. Don't cause drama, don't create problems. Just have fun. It ain't difficult, honey. It ain't difficult. Act 3, the ultimatum. At this point, I'm getting hives just thinking about being locked in a house with these women for 72 hours. Yeah, I would not want that either. This isn't a party, it's a psychological horror film. So I did what any sane person would do. I pulled the plug. I canceled the whole weekend trip. It doesn't surprise me, honestly. Nobody wants to start a trip on that kind of frequency. Like that vibe is like, hell no. My fiance and I went to Daria's house to confront her and gently explained that to save my own sanity, I was thinking of doing 2 separate peaceful dinners, one with her and her friends and one with her and my friends. I still fail to understand why her friends are even part of this arrangement. Are they coming to the wedding? Like, why are they even there?
She doesn't even go here.
You guys, she had a full-blown meltdown. She told me that was, quote, not right to her friends, and that if I dared to split the party, she would not come to either event. She's saying that like it's a bad thing. So let me get this straight. She invites her friends to my party, lets them bully my friends, and her planning single-handedly ruins the entire weekend, and now she's giving me an ultimatum. Because I don't want my bachelorette party to be a cage match, I feel like I'm losing my mind, so tell me, am I the villain for canceling this party from hell, or has my maid of honor officially lost the plot? What would you do?
Very good question.
I don't think you're the villain, but I honestly feel like you should have stood your ground at the very beginning and like not even allowed these 2 people that you barely know, like her friends, to be a part of this event. She shouldn't have asked to begin with, to be honest. It's weird to me, you know, it's weird. I don't even understand why Daria is inviting 2 people that are not part of your wedding or the bridal party to an event that doesn't concern them. Like, did she want like backup or something? Like, does she not like your friends and she wanted some sort of like, you know, people to back her up? I really don't understand why they're there or why she had the audacity to include them. I don't think you're the villain. I wish you spoke up sooner, honestly, and I'm sad that you had to cancel this wonderful trip because of Daria and her friends.
What a waste.
At this point, I'm genuinely like, why is Daria even coming? Why are her friends coming? Go and rent that villa that your friend had without them. Like, why are you suffering because people can't seem to like keep it together?
You messed up? What do you mean you messed up?
I think Eritrea should be your maid of honor. I agree. I fail to understand why this Daria person is so close to you. It doesn't really sound like she puts you first, like this comment says. This right here, choose people who put you first, OP. I'm confused why you picked Daria in the first place. Surely this isn't the first time her true personality has shown itself. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't the first time that Daria has been like a little iffy here. It's supposed to be fun, you know? So we do have an update. A lot of you are asking the $1 million question. Why in the world did you choose Daria to be your maid of honor? And that's fair. Based on my last post, she sounds like a nightmare. But the Daria who planned this horror show is not the Daria I've known for years. When my fiance and I asked her to be our maid of honor, we knew her as an incredibly kind and noble person. She and her husband have a wonderful family, and we genuinely saw them as an example of what we want for our own future. In my country, there's also a tradition of picking an experienced married couple who can guide you through life, and they seemed perfect for the role. Okay, noted. The person who unleashed her friends on mine is someone I don't even recognize. Now about her and her two friends, Karen and Victoria. They weren't complete unknowns. We've met them before, but they're definitely more in the acquaintance category. Okay, so again, like, not sure why they're even included. Whatever. It brings me to the other question. Why did you let her invite them? Honestly, I should have had the backbone to tell her no from the start. I'm glad you recognize that, because it's not too much to ask. It's like, it's kind of like, yeah, I kind of like wanted something a little more intimate. You don't need to say it in like a, I don't know them, like whatever. It's like, yeah, you know, like I wanted something a little more intimate. Like I really just, I want this to be just like me and my close friends. And I hope that that's okay with you. And quite frankly, you are the bride. It is your choice. It doesn't make you a bridezilla. I will stand on that business.
Hell yeah.
Daria has 3 kids and a demanding job. And when she said she was inviting them to help her, I took a step back. Okay, but why invite people you don't know? Why is it that she didn't ask some of your other like bridesmaids or friends to help?
Suspicious.
This is not like a thing where you can just delegate to like an assistant. You know what I'll put it into perspective for you. When we've gone on like bachelorette trips, we all had like separate group chats where the bride was not included to like plan stuff to like surprise her. It's usually like one big dinner or something that like, or one special sort of experience, like a big special experience that the bride didn't know, where she shows up and she's just like, wow, like you guys know me so well. Like it's a bonding activity. It's something like for my friend Tammy, she's a chef. So we did this farm to table dinner, and like, it just really shows that you like, you know her really well. And for my friend Lisa, we did this like kind of like cacao ceremony about sisterhood. It was like a very health driven like thing where we were, you know, on the beach and we did this like sharing circle type thing, and it's very her, and she loved it. And well, I forget why I'm talking about this. We all kind of had like a task to help make this a reality. Even though we weren't like maid of honors or whatever, we all kind of like delegated so that it's like, okay, so like I'll get the party supplies, I'll get like the various phallus paraphernalia. I'm gonna worry about, you know, like the bottle of champagne when she gets there, and like I'll bring the speaker. You know what I mean? You all delegate so that everybody's helping out. It doesn't need to be something where you bring in some random acquaintance to help. I love her. She's my friend after all, and I wanted her to get all the help she could. Again, it could have been your friends that helped. I'm sure Eretria would have loved to help. These acquaintances had never been rude or obnoxious to me or my fiance before, so I thought, what's the harm? Famous last words, I know. So, what's next? The comments have been a huge reality check. My fiance and I are a team in this, and we're done with the drama. We're meeting with Daria and her husband tomorrow. The goal is to have one last calm adult conversation to see if her ultimatum is final. If she really thinks it's okay for her friends to treat my friends that way, and if she's really going to ditch my bachelorette party and potentially my wedding unless she gets her way, then we have our answer. And if her ultimatum stands, we will be changing our maid of honor. It is heartbreaking, but my wedding is supposed to be a happy time, not a hostage negotiation. Jesus.
Harry, he's taking them hostage.
Hostage?
I'll let you all know what happens after the meeting. Wish me luck. Okay. So some people are just like, I don't understand why you're friends with this person. Like, why is she so domineering and controlling? I feel like it could be the age thing. Or maybe she's a little drunk with power with the whole maid of honor thing. But like, she's in her 40s and OP is in her 30s. The rest of them are in their 30s, and all of the maid of honor's friends are in their 40s. Like, I feel like that could also be at play here, but like, it sort of seems like she's kind of taken this too far. So we have one final update. My fiance and I marched into that meeting not to negotiate, but to lay down the law. The era of compromise was over.
It's the end of an era.
The final confrontation, aka the takedown. We sat down with Daria and her husband, who already looked like he was witnessing a historical disaster.
9/11.
We skipped the pleasantries. I looked her in the eye and said, we've made a decision. We are going to have one bachelorette party. It will be with my friends as it should be. Your friends are not invited. Period. Like, this should have been what happened from the start. You could have heard a pin drop. The look on her face was a mixture of shock and pure rage. It was glorious.
Magnificent.
Yes, good. She completely lost it. She accused us of doing this deliberately to publicly humiliate her. I mean, the only thing that sucks for her is that she now has to tell her friends that they're not coming to the bachelorette. You didn't even uninvite her. Like, you're just saying, I want my bachelorette to be me and my friends, not your friends. Like, fuck. It ain't that serious. She screeched that her friends did nothing wrong and that my friend Eretria was the one who needed to grovel for an apology. It doesn't matter if who did what wrong. Like, at the end of the day, you don't want someone else a part of this. The gaslighting was so intense, I'm surprised the fire alarms didn't go off. Then came the line that sealed her fate. With tears in her eyes, crocodile tears, obviously, she wailed,
"So you're choosing them over me after everything I've done?"
I mean, you're not even. Like, you're just saying you don't want her friends there. You didn't even say, like, you're not invited anymore. Like, you know? Oh, dear. My fiance, my hero, didn't even flinch. He calmly said, yes, we are. This is her wedding and her party. The fact that you think you've had the right to dictate the guest list is the entire problem. Checkmate.
Booyah.
Backed into a corner with her nonsense, she played her final pathetic card. Well, if my friends aren't welcome, then I'm not coming. And if I'm not coming, then I guess I can't be your maid of honor.
Oh no.
We looked at her and said, we agree. That's for the best. We stood up, turned around, and walked out of that house without looking back. The doors closed on her sputtering, and it was the best sound I've heard in months. Life after the reign of terror. So the maid of honor has been officially fired. The position is now gloriously vacant, and we are going to elect Eretria as the new maid of honor. Good. I feel like that's what we all wanted, right? I feel like I've been released from a hostage situation. My real friends are ecstatic. We're now planning the bachelorette party I actually wanted. A relaxing spa day followed by a fabulous dinner. It will be 100% free of drama, polyester, and unhinged acquaintances. Ugh. Is anyone else like immediately calm? Thank you all for being the best backup a girl could ask for. You helped me realize I wasn't planning a wedding, I was cleaning house. And let me tell you, the trash has officially been taken out. I'm so proud of you, genuinely. I think that maybe there was a little bit of people pleasing going on. I feel like everybody's so afraid of being labeled a bridezilla that like they're afraid of like standing up for like what they truly want with regards to like their wedding. And I'm sorry, but like wanting things done a specific way and not being unreasonable about it doesn't make you a bridezilla. At the end of the day, it's your wedding and your choice. And as long as you're not like hurting people or like, you know, making people feel crappy about themselves or like just being an absolute nutcase, you're not a bridezilla. Like, goddamn. Thank you so much for sharing, OP. I'm not sure if your wedding has happened. This was posted about 5 months ago in the chat.
Join us.
I hope everything's gone well. I hope you don't deal with any more drama with this Daria person and her weird cronies. And I hope your wedding is everything you wish it to be. We got some more bridal party drama. Don't go anywhere. Am I the a-hole for implying my friends are being cheap over my wedding? Noted. Ooh, spicy. Throwaway because I know my friends use Reddit. I, 38 female, am marrying my fiance, 38 male, next year. I'm the last of my friends to get married, and honestly, I'd made my peace with being single and getting a dog before I met my fiance.
Man's best friend.
I'm a part of a group of 6 girlfriends who all have known each other since college. We've been through everything together. Breakups, holidays, weddings, babies, promotions. When I told them I got engaged, they seemed happy and sent me congratulations messages, but when everyone else got engaged, they threw them parties or went out for dinner to celebrate. They didn't in my case. Ooh. Okay. Noted. I gave them nearly a year's notice on my bachelorette party, which I'm keeping low key as I don't want a big thing. We're going for dinner and drinks at one of my favorite restaurants in our city. However, slowly, all of our friends have been dropping out, saying they can't get a babysitter or they have to work late or they're on a work trip. This is the thing about getting married last. And like, listen, it is what it is. People are in different stages of life. Chances are your friends that got married before you are pregnant. They have kids. You know, it stings a little bit. Like, I'm not saying that it's like friendship ending, that like, you know, they didn't do it for me or whatever. I mean, I haven't gotten there yet. Maybe there's more. But it does kind of suck, you know, because inevitably, like, you showed up for them and they're unable to show up for you in the same way. And it's not a good feeling.
Cry!
Sucks. I feel for you. I've obviously invited them all to the wedding as well, which again is a small affair. And one has already messaged the group chat saying she's not sure she can get a babysitter for that day. My wedding is months away and I'm finding it really hard to believe that she knows that far in advance. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, how do you know? Like, there's also plenty of time to find like other babysitters, you know? Maybe the friends with babies could also help her and like look after her kids too. Like, I don't know. I just feel like if you really, really want it to work, man, let me tell you something.
It's story time.
So I have a friend who has children. She came to Italy for my wedding. This woman, oh God, I adore her. This woman literally flew out nannies. She flew them out to take care of her kids on my wedding day.
Nanny.
So that she would be able to have a night out for me, not only for me, but also for her and her husband to have a night out.
Freedom.
And that's like an extreme circumstance too, right? But like, I feel like if people really want it to work, they will, you know? 2 others have also said they're not going to stay for the reception as they will be tired by then.
Old.
Well, how do you know how you're gonna feel? How do you know? Like, oh yeah, I think, you know, 2 months from now, I think I'm gonna be a little tired. Let me just quickly pull out my calendar. Okay, yeah, no, we got wedding that day. Oh, you know what? I blocked off that time for a nap. It's so ridiculous. Oh my goodness. This is not just like a regular night out. You know what I mean? It's a wedding. Okay. Let me just say that I do get it. I get, you know, having kids and being tired, being pregnant and being tired, not being able to show up fully. At the same time, I do think that there's something going on right now where people are using this whole protecting my peace and I don't want to inconvenience myself at all to be there for friends. I think that we've gone a little bit too far with the whole, you know, I'm protecting my peace or, you know, I'm protecting my energy. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, sometimes you're gonna be tired. Like you're not gonna want to really go out. You know, like you'd rather be at home. You'd rather stay in, have a nice little cup of tea, cuppa. But like, people want a village, but they don't want to be a villager. And I think a wedding is a circumstance where you can't just be like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like it. I mean, you can, but don't expect people to match that energy. You know what I mean? Here's where I may be the a-hole. The straw that broke the camel's back was when I sent the link to the registry. My fiance and I already have a house together, so we're asking for mostly small things. Nothing goes beyond $50, and we're delighted with anything that anyone chooses to buy us. They sent a message into the group chat saying they were going to band together to get me an air fryer as a group.
Yum.
It costs $40. So I was a bit surprised that they seemed to be chipping in about $8 each. Over the years, I've spent thousands of dollars on their weddings, 2 of which were overseas. Okay. Noted. I have attended dinners and brunches to celebrate their job promotions and bought gifts for their babies, all the while feeling terrible about myself, watching my friends celebrate the happiness I never thought I'd get. I sent a message just asking for clarification that if it was all them buying it together, and one replied, asking if I was calling them cheap.
Yes.
And then there has been dead silence since. Oh yeah, they're talking about you in the group chat. That really wasn't my intention, but it feels like because I'm last, they're just over having to do these events, and it's really feeding into my insecurity at getting married so late. But they do have legitimate reasons for these things. They all have lives and kids, and maybe not as much money as when we were a bit younger, and maybe I'm letting my insecurities get in the way. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole? So, here's the thing. I'm always of the opinion that it is tacky to not get a gift for a wedding, but it's also tacky to say something about it. Okay. Me personally, you know, obviously there were people that like didn't even get me a card. And that was, it doesn't feel good, right? Am I going to bring it up? No. Am I going to distance myself a little bit? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I totally get where you're coming from. I really do. I don't think you're an a-hole per se. I just think that, you know, it's like, I feel like they are being a bit tacky and inconsiderate by, you know, just $8, whatever, to get you a gift altogether.
Cheap.
Do I think you should have mentioned it? I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. But you're valid for feeling the way you feel. Totally. And I would also like to point out, if these friends are also like not coming to your wedding and not spending like, you know, any money whatsoever, you know, like, yeah.
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 It's a sticky situation, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's see what the comments had to say. Not the a-hole, these people aren't your friends. Find a new friend group. Oh, and they are cheap. Yeah, these people do not like OP. She's not picking up on it for some reason. Could be. OP seems to be what I call the leftover friend. Basically that one awkward person that has been in your group forever, but isn't really anybody's friend. Aside from maybe the one girl who brought her into the group in the first place. Weddings, baby showers, and birthdays are the perfect time for everyone else to be like,
I don't want to be around her. I'm 40 years old. Can I just not go to her party?
I was willing to consider for a bit that maybe having kids made things different from when they were all getting married. But buying an air fryer as a group gift, that's cheap, not the a-hole. Yeah, I kind of agree.
That's a yes.
I do kind of agree, especially if like they're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with regards to like your bachelorette party and like, you know, your wedding and stuff. I know for me, like if I'm not able to go to like a bachelorette party or like a wedding or a baby shower or something like that, I'll always send a gift, a nice gift. Not everybody has the ability to do that, but like it's one way of showing up when you can't show up.
Literally.
I digress. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, you know, that Sex and the City
I felt like I owned the city.
scene where Carrie leaves her Manolo Blahniks at her friend's house and then someone steals them and her friend like refuses to pay her back for her Manolo Blahniks. But like Carrie up until that point had not only gone to her friend's wedding, baby showers, all of these like engagement parties, like gotten her so many gifts. Mind you, she also took the shoes off without, like against her will. She did not want to take the shoes off and then someone stole them.
You know this old woman who lived in a shoe?
It kind of reminds me of that, you know? The worst part is actually the cheapness. If you're asking for all this understanding and compromise from one friend when being singled out and given zero effort, the least thing anyone can do is make up for that and get an awesome gift as a sorry I didn't make the effort to come. Here is something to make up for it a bit. Yes, especially if OP has really, really stuck by these people, like through all their life events, celebrated them and everything, and like this is what they're doing.
No bueno.
Yeah, I would agree it's the right thing to do. What they've shown now is they don't want to make an effort on her at all, and they don't want to spend money on her at all. I'd send this post to the group chat and then say my goodbyes, including don't bother with the air fryer. I've had more hot air by now than I can handle in a lifetime, not the a-hole.
God damn.
Comments seem to say not the a-hole. I'm of the opinion that I would never say anything if someone didn't get me a gift for my wedding. I would never bring it up. I'll feel some type of way about it. I'll feel a little salty, you know? I'm not talking about a monetary gift. I'm talking about, like, I had friends that, like, painted me things for my wedding. That was incredible, an incredible gift. It didn't cost them a dime. Like a card, like a little card or, like, just a coupon. It doesn't have to be monetary, but if you're going to someone's big life event and you don't even consider getting them, like, a card or, like a gift that's, like, $50, like... Yeah, I don't know. It's in poor taste. I'm just saying. Especially if for you, they got you gifts, celebrated you, spent money on you, okay?
The reciprocity.
Everybody wants a village, but they don't want to be a villager. So, we have an update. Hi, everyone. I didn't think I would have an update to give, but I wanted to repay everyone's kindness. Some people said some really lovely and helpful things. First off, I wanted to clarify a few questions that were asked. I didn't care about what they bought us as a gift. I didn't care if they got us a gift at all. It was never about the air fryer. I really wasn't calling them cheap. I was just clarifying if it was coming from all of them. I also didn't ask if they were getting us a gift. They brought this up themselves. I couldn't put my finger on why it made me feel a bit weird. I think the word I was searching for was disrespect.
That one.
Someone said an $8 gift is worse than no gift, and I think that's the heart of it. The money issue came up as well. As far as I know, all of my friends are fairly solvent. Okay, so that's important to note because I know that there's gonna be people that are in this comment section that are like, well, you know, it's tough out there, weddings are expensive, you know, I'm having a hard time right now. And listen, you're valid.
I'm poor.
You are valid. Not everybody can afford that. I can understand that. But within the context of this story, this group of people can afford it. Okay? We all work in the finance field, mostly as accountants. 3 are very senior in their firms. All of their husbands have good jobs. But we never discuss money, and I know kids and the cost of living is high at the moment, so I never want to assume anyone's financial status, but everyone seems okay. The other issue was a lot of people asked how often we see each other, and the answer is quite regularly. We made a pact years ago to meet up once a month, no matter how crazy life got, and we've mostly been able to stick to that. The 6 of us usually meet for Sunday brunch. Apart from that, I live in the same neighborhood as 2 of them, so we do dinner occasionally, and parties for their kids, etc. are a must. The last question was, my wedding isn't child-free and is in our city. I love kids, and my friends' kids are surrogate nieces and nephews to me, and they are all invited. The friend who said she couldn't find childcare said she didn't want to bring her kids because she said weddings are easier without them. Oh yeah. Okay, so wait, you're literally making it super easy for her. Like you're not saying that she can't bring her kids. She just doesn't want to bring her kids, nor does she want to go find a babysitter. Side-eye. Lastly, some suggested they don't like my fiance. They've never given me that impression. Everyone seems to get along well enough. They've known him for 2 years and he occasionally goes golfing with some of their husbands. Now for the update. Reading the comments was like having cold water thrown on me. I've never considered myself the outsider friend, but a lot of people suggested I was, and it really threw me and I got really overwhelmed. I didn't send any message to the group chat, even though lots of commenters gave me a really good suggestion about what to write, and I withdrew into myself until my fiance prized it out of me what was wrong.
Open up.
I showed him the post and he got super quiet and really angry. I've never seen him this angry over anything ever. He asked if I had spoken to them about this and I said no. He started to call them individually and read them the riot act. He called them an $8 assholes and said that he would be sending them an itemized list of the thousands of dollars I'd spent on them over the years. This is so Carrie coded, so Sex and the City coded. He called BS on the one who said she couldn't get a babysitter, and she indeed said she was sick of having to go to the same boring wedding over and over, and yours won't be any different, and he lost it at her.
I don't blame him.
Doesn't matter if you don't like boring weddings, man. You want a village, and if someone has shown up for you and been your villager, you need to be a villager for them. I hate the idea of him fighting my battles for me, so I asked him to stop after the 3rd person. I sent a message into the group chat asking if we could all speak as a group, and the 3 he called sent voice messages saying that my fiance was a psycho and they wouldn't speak to me anymore. Maybe that's kind of what they wanted in the first place, honestly. I just felt really tired and defeated, so I sent a message saying that if they don't want to be friends anymore, that's fine, and to consider their invitations withdrawn to the bachelorette and the wedding. Not one has replied, so I guess we're done.
Brutal.
I suppose I'm better off, but I don't feel that way. I feel numb and sad. They've been such a big part of my life for so long, and I really feel the loss, and I'm so sad that I won't see their kids anymore. Oh, bestie, I'm so sorry. That's so unfair. Some of them refer to me as auntie, and it's making me cry. I won't see them grow up. I'm really hoping that, you know, they see where they went wrong, but I think unfortunately a big fight before the wedding and like not going to the wedding, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to repair that relationship.
Awkward.
My fiance has apologized for rushing in and for not asking me how I wanted to handle it, and I've accepted. We're good, and I'm looking forward to our life together. I mostly wanted to say thank you to the kind Redditors that showed me the light about this and offered congratulations on our wedding and even offered to buy us a gift. I've never watched Sex and the City.
The Sex and the City.
But I'll watch the episode some people mentioned. It seems like I'll relate. I'll delete this post soon. I just want to put this behind me now. Yeah, it's funny that other people pointed it out too. It really, really reminds me of that. Some people are pointing out in the comments, it seems coordinated. They've been talking about OOP behind her back for years. That's why I said they probably have a group chat, man. Like, they're probably like, yeah, I don't like feel like it. Like, I don't even like her that much. If people like you, like genuinely like you, they'll figure it out, man. They'll figure it out.
I believe in you.
If someone has shown up for you, it's really not fair to not do them that courtesy as well. You might not find it convenient. You might be tired to show up, but show up. I think that's important. You never know when you might need them. Would I be a bridezilla if I told my mom this isn't her wedding and her help isn't wanted? Ooh. This was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Here's some context. My mom and I aren't close at all. Anyone wondering why? She was super A-word to me until my first child was born. Also, she didn't raise me, my grandmother did. She was also A-word. Needless to say, I left her house as soon as I could. Since I got engaged, she's been trying to force a relationship with me and my fiance.
No, go away!
Historically, she didn't like my fiance at all and treated him very poorly. For example, she allowed my sister's boyfriend to move in with her, but my fiance wasn't even allowed to set foot in her house until well after the birth of our child. Okay, double standard. Now she's come around and she sees he's a great man, but her way of making it up for the past seems to involve taking over our wedding planning. Ooh, okay. She's been trying to push things on us, like a wedding dress. I already have mine. Bouquets, already handled. And even a wedding coordinator, we already hired one. Okay, so this is the thing. You do have a history with your mother and stuff, and maybe she really is trying to be helpful. Huh? Yeah. Are there little things that she could do that don't involve like a ton of decision making? Okay. I don't mind her wanting to participate, but I do mind her trying to push her way into our wedding without consulting us. That's the thing. We're paying for everything ourselves, and I want to tell her that this is our wedding, not hers. I want her to be there as my mom, but all those extra things she's suggesting, or in some cases trying to do unilaterally, aren't going to be a part of our day. Yeah, if she's like, even just like doing things like without your consent, no bueno.
No way in hell.
Would I be a bridezilla for saying this to her? Maybe there's another way to word it. You know what I mean? Maybe she really is just trying to help. Before saying something like that, which I feel like is something that you would do if she like really fucked up, which doesn't seem like she has yet. Maybe there's like a, hey, like, listen, we've got a lot of this stuff handled. I really, really appreciate you trying to help. Maybe you can come, I don't know, wedding cake tasting with us, or like, you know, what else is there? Like, I don't know. There's a lot to do. What can she do without having any like creative say? Yeah, I feel like there's something that you could do within like, you know, the scope of what you're planning that's like an assistant would do, you know?
At your service.
Okay, so she edited. When I say amazing, I mean she treats them better than she treated me. Should have started with quotation marks to emphasize the sarcasm. Edit to update. I just sent her a text. I'm at work, so is she, and I like having a paper trail to reference when she makes claims of not knowing. Letting her know I appreciate her eagerness to help, but the bouquet she selected is not my or our wedding style. I'll post a link in the comments if I find it again. Our wedding is rustic. The bouquets are more glam.
And that's your glam.
Also, she wants to incorporate photos of dead relatives into my bouquets. Okay. People in hell want ice water, but I don't see that happening. I will give another update if it's needed. Okay. Another update. She now has a task assigned to her. I have given her a task I haven't worked on that I want to be included, but I won't be upset about it if she fails to come through. My fiance thinks some of you are a bit too savage, some a bit too comical to be on Reddit, and a lot of you are spot on. He agreed that giving her something small but insignificant to our wedding was a great idea to make her leave me alone. Thank you so much to everyone who commented. I will try to keep updating, including after the wedding. Update 3. It's now been 2 weeks since I posted, and I thought it would be nice to include an update. She's chilled out with her suggestions and is now working on the task I have assigned her. Oh, Okay, wait, let's not get excited. But I have had to shut her down in a sense. She was talking to me about her dress. I ordered her dress, don't worry. And she started saying our wedding, as if she's getting married. I let her know I don't know what the hell she's thinking, but this wedding is not hers. This is my fiance and I's wedding, no one else's. She got really defensive and said she was just joking. I said, okay, don't joke like that, and carried on. I am going to talk to her about a few things so she isn't shocked or surprised. I will let you know how it all goes. Yeah, like obviously the usual things, like, you know, make sure the vendors know, make sure there's a password, stuff like that. Make sure that, like, she can't really change anything else, right?
Better safe than sorry.
On to the update. So my mom seemed to cool down, at least that's what we thought. She even helped us find a photographer. The issue, it was a friend she was already bringing as her +1, and she started discussing what photos would be taken, all of which were things we absolutely didn't want. Yeah, that's a bit of a, is that a task you assign to her?
It's backfiring.
I feel like she could have brought you like some options maybe, so you could have picked. Okay, our options were either to find someone new or go for Polaroids and a photo booth. Well, we ended up finding a new photographer, and one of my bridesmaids is generously paying for it as a gift to us. Oh, that's lovely. I have officially told him that we were no longer needing his services. I'm waiting for him to tell my mom so I can update her response. Another thing worth mentioning, my mom has made comments about not being included in the wedding planning. If you followed my post, you remember that we aren't close. She was a word to me growing up and treated my fiance terribly until just a few years ago. Because of this, I've been moving in the shadows to ensure she doesn't try to take control or cause problems. We even have people in place to remove her on the wedding day if necessary. We are now a month out from our wedding and couldn't get more excited if we tried. It's all feeling real and we are confident she won't be able to ruin anything for us. Edit to add, everything is password protected. She's also on an information diet. An information diet.
Tasty.
She only knows about the alterations because she's getting her dress altered too. But I have a separate account with password protection. Okay, noted. So people are just kind of like, why are you inviting her? Why are you inviting her? I don't know. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to not invite someone like your mother to your wedding. I do agree that, like, depending on what it was like, might not be the best, but maybe this mother really is trying to, like, help. We have one more update. So, we got married. Everything went perfectly. I wanted to wait about a month to enjoy being married, but guess what? Things went exactly how we planned. My mom stayed in line. A few people checked her throughout the day, and when she saw the coordinator, she looked genuinely shocked. Even more surprising, my aunt, her sister, sat her down before things started and reminded her that this day was about us, not her. Ooh, that's good. Someone else said it, so that's good. Love that. Yay! She found out my dad was walking me down the aisle, and I saw her face turn red, but she didn't do anything. Maybe she realized I was fully prepared to cut her off. Or maybe it was because multiple people made it very clear they were ready to escort her out if she tried anything. But she didn't. She behaved. She smiled in photos, danced appropriately, made no weird speeches, didn't pull any stunts. It was honestly kind of surreal. Ooh, let's all collectively take a nice little... That felt good, didn't it? I'm really happy to hear that everything went okay. Sometimes you really don't know. You know, I think the controlling mothers and mother-in-laws, like, I think it comes from, like, a good place a lot of the time. Like, wanting to feel useful, wanting to make up for things. Yes, you know, we've all read stories of people being totally unhinged, but one would hope that people could just keep it together and just have fun.
Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, I think I'm really happy with how this ended. I'm glad she was respectful. I'm glad you didn't have to do anything rash.
Just one of those days, I guess.
Excellent. Congratulations, OP. Would you be a bridezilla if you told your mom this isn't her wedding and her help isn't wanted? Again, like, I just feel like there's a better way to say it, okay? If she's really going above and beyond to, like, ruin your wedding and, like, you know, we've read so many stories about mothers and mother-in-laws doing horrible things, like telling everybody where the wedding is, or, like, you know, changing your wedding dress without your consent and all these other things. Like, I don't know if you've shared enough of her, like, manipulating things for me to say that it's justified to say that. And I'm glad that you didn't. And maybe other people kind of said it for you. Happy to hear everything went fine. There's always a nicer way to say it, you know? My sweet petty revenge against an entitled bridezilla. This is going to be a long post with a lot of relevant context, and I'm not even going to attempt to shorten it because I made this throwaway account for the sole purpose of basking in the glory of my petty revenge. Excellent. So all of this started around March 2024 when I got a text message from Jen, 27 female, asking me, 28 female, to be a bridesmaid at her wedding. Here's some context. Jen and her now husband, Matt, 27 male, were both my classmates back in university, and we hung out as a group quite often. While I still used to talk to Matt occasionally, like on birthdays and stuff, I hadn't been in touch with Jen after university. Oh, interesting.
Go on.
So I was obviously quite surprised when Jen asked me to be a bridesmaid because, again, we hadn't spoken in years. I asked Jen if she was sure she wanted me to be a part of her wedding, after the obvious formalities of how are you and it's been long, since we hadn't really been in touch these past few years. Her response: she only wanted people who knew her and Matt as a couple to be part of the main wedding event. This made sense since Jen isn't from our country. She was an international student who settled here after graduating. So her immediate family never saw much of her and Matt together. They'd been dating since the second year of uni, by the way. Since Matt and I had maintained a friendship over the years and I didn't have any problems with Jen either, I agreed to be in the wedding party, and then the first bomb dropped. Jen texted me 2 hours I confirmed I'd be a bridesmaid by saying, "By the way, Candace was raving about the gluten-free, no-sugar chocolate cupcakes you'd make. I'd love to have them at the bridesmaid cocktail party. Consider this your first bridesmaid duty. Haha. There'll be 6 of us. Yay, thank you, can't wait to try them."
Oh no!
Okay, not a huge ask, but a little side-eye-y, like maybe a little maybe. Okay, beige flag. I don't have a beige flag, but ugh. Now this is where we get some more context. 1, I own a bakery and I specialize in better for you, aka healthier desserts, hence the request that came my way. 2, Candace is a good friend of mine and is also part of our college group. Her and I have kept in touch after college, and she always endorsed my business around brides-to-be, and even for the corporate events at her office. I've gotten a lot of referrals from Candace over the years. Okay, noted. Fair.
And this seems normal.
Spoiler, Candace later told me that Jen had asked for my number to order cupcakes. Instead, she ended up inviting me to be a bridesmaid so she could get them for free.
Oh, Lord.
And no, that's not the worst of it. There's so much more drama that's to be unfolded here. Not the free cupcakes. Not be a bridesmaid so I get free cupcakes.
Stop.
I was a little annoyed by Jen's behavior of just assigning me the duty to make cupcakes for her cocktail party, but I was like, okay, it's fine. It's just 6 girls in her bridal party attending. Jen, maid of honor, 4 bridesmaids, including me. It wasn't a big deal, so I let it slide. And then it came time to go dress shopping for the cocktail party. Now here's what was planned. Instead of having a traditional bachelorette, Jen organized a cocktail dinner for her bridal party. She kept telling us that this was going to be her treat. We found out later it was paid for by Matt. Jen's only request was that we all get appropriate cocktail dresses, as she had hired a photographer for the dinner party.
Don't screw it up.
She insisted that we all get our dresses from the same store because the owner of the store agreed to give her a huge discount on her custom wedding dress if we all made a group purchase. Okay, so you don't get the discount, she does. Our dresses would be about 15% discounted, so it sounded like a win-win. Okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun. The gun was jumped. What we didn't realize, maybe not, was the 15% discount was on the dresses that costed upwards of $600 for regular dresses. $600. Granted, they were stunning, but it's too much for a cocktail dress for me. Yeah, and it's not even like the wedding either. Like, this is like a cocktail dress that's like for a separate bachelorette event. Yeah, no.
Hard pass.
I would like literally just wear a dress I already own. Some of us were a little hesitant about the cost, but her maid of honor told us that since we are not pitching in for a traditional bachelorette, and this is the only thing she's asking for, let's go ahead and get the dresses from the store. Okay. Thankfully, my fiance told me he'll get me a dress from the store as a gift since my birthday was coming up anyway, and I could wear it for my birthday date with him too. It was the sweetest gesture, and I was like, okay. Yes, I'm on board.
Cute.
Now, while all the girls had planned to go shopping together, I told them to go ahead without me and that I would go shopping for my dress with my fiance. Given that he was paying for it, I wanted for him to be involved in picking the dress too. And then we'd all go in together for the final fittings later once the dresses were ready. The store only had samples in stock and everything had to be made to order. Note, there was no theme for the cocktail party dresses, just as long as it was a cocktail dress. Short, long, mini, midi, everything worked. It just had to be an evening glam kind of dress. But again, it's like kind of like you can get a nice dress without spending that amount of money. But anyways, I digress. So my fiance and I went in and picked the most stunning cocktail dress. The length was mid-thigh, it was golden, halter neck, and it just worked. The size in the store was a little tight for me, but that was okay as mine was going to be custom made to my measurements anyway. We booked my dress under the group booking for the wedding party. My fiance paid for the dress and it was good to go. Now comes the day 1 week before the cocktail dinner when the complete bridal party goes for the final fittings and to pick their dresses up. Uh-oh. Jen saw me wear my dress and went absolutely bonkers. She started whining about how my dress was prettier than hers and even screamed at the poor store manager for not showing her this design. The shop had the exact same selection the day she went shopping. Oh, be for real right now, that is nuts. She insisted I wear a different dress and she wants to wear the one I got. Stop it right now.
A nerve.
And here's everything wrong with that. 1, the store manager straight up refused. He said in such a short time, 1 week to the party, he couldn't get a custom dress made in her size. And 2, I couldn't wear something else as my fiance already paid a hefty price tag. Yeah, and it's made to order, so like you can't return that for this dress. And I was gonna get his money's worth by wearing it as much as I could. Despite all reasoning, Jen insisted I let her at least try on my dress.
Bad idea.
I was obviously furious at the suggestion, but didn't want to make a scene, so I let her try it on. Mind you, I am 3 sizes bigger than Jen, so there was no way this dress was fitting her right. After wearing the dress, Jen asked the store manager if my dress could be altered to her size. Oh, absolutely not. No fucking way. I couldn't believe she had the audacity to ask that while I was standing right there. Buddy, you're fucked, eh?
Trash. So much trash.
I wasn't going to let her wear my dress, no matter what. My fiance loved me in it, and I wasn't going to just let someone else take it. Thankfully, the store manager was not having it. He said the look of the dress would be completely ruined upon such a drastic alteration, as the dress is a lot bigger than her size, which was true. She made a disgusted face and changed out of it. We got our dresses and got home. They had lunch plans later, but I didn't feel like joining, so I came home with my stunning dress. Period. Again, some context is needed. The dress wasn't all that special or the kind of dress that would steal someone's thunder. It was a very regular dress that just happened to look really good on me. If I'm being honest, the color of the dress was washing her out. I'm attaching a picture of a similar dress that I found online in the comments. Okay, this is the dress. Similar. It's a nice dress, but not like outshining the bride nice. Later that evening, I get a call from Jen telling me her cocktail dinner had been canceled because her dress wasn't working. Oh. So you just spent all that money kind of for nothing, but like, I was fuming because I just spent a fortune getting a dress for her dinner and now she's not even having one. However, I let it go and said I understand, and the call ended normally. The entitlement hasn't even begun yet. Are you sure? Because it sounds like it has.
God help us.
4 days later, I get a text from Jen. Hey, so I know you were going to make those chocolate cupcakes for the cocktail dinner, but since it's no longer happening, you can just make them for the main wedding instead. We're expecting about 90 guests, but I'd make it an even 100 just in case. Thank you. Excuse me? You're telling me that I just went from making cupcakes for 6 people to making them for 90 people without even signing up for either of those in the first place? Absolutely not. I took a few hours to craft a response that didn't have me cussing her. Jen, while I'm sorry about the fact that you had to cancel your cocktail dinner, I'm unable to just make 100 cupcakes for your wedding, especially since the gluten and sugar-free cupcakes have alternate ingredients that cost a fortune. However, if you'd like to place an order with my bakery for the 100 cupcakes, I can get that done. I'm also happy to offer a discount for that order. Let me know at least 30 days before the wedding if you'd like me to confirm. Hope this helps. Sorry about your dinner being canceled once again. Ready to get your blood boiling?
Yes.
Here's how she responded. Jen, it's tacky to ask for money after you agreed to gift someone something. No. She agreed to 6 cupcakes, not 100.
Where did you learn to count?
I'm not going to pay for those cupcakes as I didn't budget for them. Then you won't get the cupcakes. I've already told all my guests that there's going to be gluten-free dessert options. Well, you shouldn't have done that. You're my bridesmaid. I should be able to count on you to take my problems away, not pile them up on me. She created her own problems, let's be honest. Please make the cupcakes happen. Thank you. I don't know how some people wake up and think it's okay to go about their lives acting like this. Where do they find the audacity? I never texted her back about the cupcakes. Instead, my plan was to meet Jen for coffee the coming week and tell her I'm going to be dropping out of the bridal party altogether. Yeah. Because if that's the type of responsibilities and disrespect you have to put up with as a bridesmaid, I would not want to be one either.
It's not worth it.
There was no way I was going to spend all that time and money on making 100 cupcakes for her wedding, and also for someone that you barely, know, too. You know her, but you're not, close with her, you know? It just didn't make sense for my business or my life in general. If she was a close friend, I would have done it, but Jen was merely an acquaintance who had reconnected after years and somehow trapped me into being in her wedding party.
I'm trapped.
So the plan was set. I just asked Jen to meet me for coffee the following week, where I would have this discussion in person to drop out of the wedding party. She was under the pretense I wanted to discuss something related to my bridesmaid duties. But then, guess what I see all over the bridal party's Instagram 2 stories later? They all went to the mother fricking cocktail dinner. Don't. Please don't. Say it ain't so. My blood pressure just went up. Yes, the same cocktail dinner that Jen told me was canceled because her dress wasn't working out. No. She didn't want you there because she didn't want to look worse than you.
Gross.
The way I wanted to punch her in the face through the phone screen was unreal. The morning after the cocktail dinner, I called Candace, and here's what happened. Jen told everyone I was the one who told her I wouldn't be attending the cocktail due to a work emergency, and as an apology, I'd offered to make cupcakes for her wedding day.
That's bananas.
Again, how do people like this survive in the real world? I told Candace the truth, and she was just as furious as me. She told me she'd come with me to coffee next week, and she would also drop out of Jen's wedding party. That honestly would have been a great slap across her face, but I had much more of a petty revenge brewing in my head. Goody. Excellent. I told Candace to continue being a bridesmaid, and so would I. I canceled my coffee meeting with Jen the following week and told her I'd coordinate with her caterer directly about serving the cupcakes. Yep, I was gonna get all the cupcakes for her wedding, all 100 of them, but with a teeny tiny twist. Fast forward 4 months later, Jen and Matt's wedding day. A beautiful event with one simple dress code rule. All guests were to wear pastels. Except who showed up in a shiny golden halter neck dress that Jen was obsessing over? That's right. Me. Oh, okay, I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I do love it.
Perfection.
When I tell you her eyes visibly popped out of their sockets, I'm not even exaggerating. She was extremely furious at me for wearing the dress and absolutely lost it when Matt, of all people, commented on how gorgeous I looked. Oop. Oh, sweet karma. But that wasn't all. Remember the gluten-free, sugar-free chocolate cupcakes I was supposed to make for the wedding? Well, guess what? I went ahead and got 100 pieces of the most generic supermarket cupcakes with whipped cream, frosting, and I got them from one of those budget shopping places that sell it in wholesale. That's all she deserves, honestly. I do like the icing on those sometimes, though. The ones just from, the grocery store. I just eat the icing. Let's just say the only taste in those cupcakes was icing sugar. I was in contact with her caterer who prepared a stunning printed calligraphy dish card. The card where the name of the dish is mentioned. And the card said gluten-free cupcakes. But due to the health code compliance, they couldn't use it anymore. And they couldn't even make a new one on the spot, as those were printed weeks in advance. They had to place a handwritten card that said cupcakes. When Jen asked me about it with her voice all high-pitched, I simply said, oh, I had a work emergency. But I felt terrible about it, so I got these from the store as an apology. I can't do it with this hand, just the right hand. Yes! Goes without saying she was irked throughout her wedding and reception, and I couldn't have been prouder of myself. She got what she deserved, and maybe she'd stop being such an entitled brat moving forward. Ladies, let this be your reminder to not let a bridezilla bully you. I don't have a hat, but if I had one on, I'd take it off for you. Subscribe!